Welcome back to the channel, guys. So we've been busy doing some trading since the start of the game. We now are up to a couple of K, so we managed to do some objectives, some SBCs, and we played a couple of squad battles, and we managed to sell some players from the pack. So Nkunku's gone, Brahim, a couple of the others. We managed to pick up a couple of K, which we've ended up spending on the team, picked up a few players, the main one being Estevao. So we picked him up for 1,200 coins. He's straight in the team. He was the first player that I wanted to get. This isn't Estevao Road to Glory after all, so we had to get him. We've got a couple of other Chelsea players. We've got Santos, Hato. They'll probably end up being sold for profit. We will see whether we keep them or not, because I think we can do better on the defence. And I just wanted to get Estevao. That was the main one. The goal now is just to do some trading, try and get more coins to build a team to actually play. All I've done is played a couple of moments to get some stars and a couple of squad battles just for the objective so we can get some packs. And so now onto the actual packs. Some of them are some player picks, which we are going to open up right now. And the main one is actually going to be the club's players, which you get. And all you have to do is just play one game. So these are actually pretty good. They're not too bad. I'm leaning towards Stanisic because defenders are quite hard to come by and he looks pretty good. Endo was the other one. Prem, links to Estevao, really good as a chem option. But in terms of an actual player that I wanted to use, Stanisic stood out. Koopmeiners also looked pretty good. But for us, for the team, we are going to go and pick up Stanisic. He just has the best defending, 85 defending, I think it's the same as Militao, and it's really hard to find good defenders with pace that are cheap in this game. So we're going to go for Stanisic. We've got Bayern links, which we can get to him as well. And then the rest is going to be a couple of player picks, so we get bronze right at the end. 87, not bad at all. She's going to be really useful for SBCs, especially for the Reece James one. I really like that. Probably too slow to be our actual right back, even though defending and physical, both 87s, really good. But yeah, straight into the Reece James SBC once we can actually afford him, if we can actually afford him. And these are just a bunch of 81s. Doesn't really matter. We're going to pick whichever one. And they are all going to go straight into our club. So then, we do have some packs. So these are packs that we've got from SBCs, but crucially at the end, we have that debut icon, which I'm looking forward to see what we get. And as I mentioned, whatever we get is going to go hopefully into that Reece James SBC if we have enough. James is the right back that we want to have, and bronze was a good fodder, especially for that 85 rated squad. We do not have a squad that's 85 rated yet, but we do have a few days to try and get the fodder. If I keep doing the objectives, keep grinding on maybe the moments to open up some of those moment store packs that you can get, or just some of the objectives to open up more fodder packs. Maybe it's doing some rivals once we have a team that's good enough that we're not going to get absolutely trounced. That is going to be the way forward. But onto the packs. So we're just going to fly through the bronze and silver packs. They're all just going to be some fodder, but still useful for some SBCs and for some consumables. Nothing. Shaw. Not the right Shaw. Don't even want the other Shaw anyway. He's going to be too slow for us. This one. Vaughan. Don't know. Don't care. They're all bronze. They're all just to go into SBC so we can get more fodder packs out of. Another silver, nothing special from there. I don't know if you can actually pack Team of the Weeks from these. If there's a silver that's made it to the Team of the Week, I don't think there is. This guy doesn't even have a game face. But yeah, either way, they're all going straight into the club. And then 12 rare silvers, not bad. There is an SBC that requires putting silvers into it. So we will do that SBC with the players that we get. And then the final silver pack, of course, nothing special. We weren't expecting anything special. Now onto the last few packs. I'm just waiting to get to the icon one. Blin, again, fine. Gold, SBC worthy. And then a player pick here. Carrasco doesn't look too bad. 81 rated. But he's actually got decent stats. He's got 87 pace and about 85 dribbling and like 80 shooting as well, which isn't bad at all. So we're going to keep him there, either for a super sub, or if he goes into an SBC, he goes into an SBC, right? But he's not actually too bad. 4-star, 4-star as well. Handy little pickup there, especially for a starter team who are left mid as a bronze anyway. Anything's an upgrade. Hunter, that's worth a bit. Untradeable, but still really useful for the team. I will take that. And then some consumables packs. No good chem style out of this. Although we've got La Liga. Oh, and we've got 2,000 coins as well. Handy. We will take that. Add that couple of K onto the Estevao Road to Glory. Couple of players. Ahmad, not bad, not bad. 85 pace, 83 dribbling. What I have noticed is on the player stats, on the info menu, the weak foot and skill moves is completely bugged. So it just says 5-star, 5-star for everyone. We're just going to put those two into the club. Renato, one of those players that always seems to be good in FIFA, even though he's low rated. Ndika, fine. Last player before we get into the icon. Let's get rid of him. Straight into the icon. Who are we going to get? Iniesta! I tell you what, that's not too bad. I know it's not the Ronaldos, it's not the Ibras that people have been getting or that I've seen are available, but Iniesta's not bad. He's going to go straight into the cam position, I think, for us. He's obviously not 5-star, 5-star. I don't think, anyway. Going to have to check that on Footbin. But yeah, really, really good. He's got good stats. Let's have a look at Footbin. Yeah, 4-star, 4-star. So he's not 5-star, 5-star, but still really good. Great passing, 90 vision, 90 short passing, 88 long passing. Dribbling wise, also really good. 87 dribbling, 88 ball control, 85 composure. Agility, perhaps a little low. I thought Iniesta would have higher agility than that, but pace is in a good spot. Shooting, not the best, but again, I don't mind the shooting. As a cam, he's going to be mainly there to set up the wingers and the striker, who we do have to fix, because our striker at the moment is, well, it's Jimenez, who we packed. We either packed or we got him just straight away when we first made the account as one of our starter players. Anything in the preview pack? Silas, good for Danny Aarons, but not for us. But I'm sure Danny Aarons would love that. But yeah, so far 4k coins, 2 KFC points, which I think I'm only going to spend on if there is a really cracking Evo or if there's a really cracking pack to take advantage of. I don't think this one's that good. You get 24 gold, 1 guaranteed to be over 84, but not really what we're after. I think if there's a good Evo, or if it is for the season pass, then that's probably what we're going to use them for. So in terms of our club, we've got Jimenez at the top. We're just going to get rid of all the bronzes. That left mid up there is actually a left back, but he can play left mid, so he's currently there. Iniesta is going to go straight in, but we also have Ahmad that can play cam, and I think he can also play centre mid, so he might get a game at centre mid. But that's kind of the team so far. We will add bronze at right back at some point. We're also going to add in Stanisic as well, and we will try and build a team around that, just to be able to play some games. And then when the team is fully built, we'll go into proper competitive games, try and do the tournament, try and do the rivals, try and get some coins and packs. And whenever a really good Evo comes out for Estevao, we will of course try and put him in. It's now the next day, and we've done some trading. Coin balance at the top, and 19.4k. How did that happen, I hear you ask? Well, on the transfer list, as I said, we've been doing some objectives, we've been doing a little bit of trading, And from some of the objective packs, we managed to get Odegaard. That was huge because he was actually tradable. And I managed to sell him for 15k. So that's brought up our coin balance, which is great. We can try and put some of that into Reece or try and continue trading. There's some other things I've done. So I bought some Mahrez's, not for a lot. It was like 1.1, so for 1.2. A Can as well, a Gavi. These are all minor profits here and there. Plus, it's also some of the players that were tradable. Santos, I did sell in the end. So Santos and Hato, I did actually sell. Santos went for 1.5, which I'm just looking at Odegaard. So selling for 15 is now 12.7. Isn't too bad. So we did make a little bit of profit there, and we managed to sell at the right time. I think he still goes up. Santos that's not the right Santos. That's some guy called Edison. Santos, what's Chelsea on here? He's 850, so that was 27 minutes ago. Prices fluctuate. Managed to sell for 1.5 or 1.4 even. Got Gazaniga there, Danso, a bunch of others. It's just little bits of profit here and there. We bought João Pedro, sold him for 500. Here's Hato, we bought him for 550, sold him for, 1k. Bit of Garnacho as well. And there's a couple of others here on the list. Lema that we bought with a chem style that I'm now trying to shift on. And then a couple of others there which will hopefully sell. I've put Mahrez's price up to 1.5. I think maybe when people clock onto the SBCs requiring 84s, 84s will go up. I think especially when the game comes out, the higher rated like an Odegaard will also go up in price as well. I'm going to clear that now. So in terms of the team, we have made moves. It's on 5-2-1-2. I'm not going to play 5-2-1-2. That was to complete some of the moments. So we have, I think, like 64 moment stars. I've done some SBCs as well. So I've used some of the players I've packed. We've now made a squad. I'm just going to clear it, get rid of everyone. And the biggest change, I think, is going to be with Sam Kerr. So we've got a new striker. Jimenez gone. We bought Sam Kerr for 5.3. Again, 87 seems cheap, especially when you look at her stats. She's now 6.1, might even be extinct. No idea why price range is 400k. Apparently there's only 2, but it's footbin, it could be outdated. But with the stats, I just thought it was incredible value. 80 pace, 91 finishing. You've got 91 composure, 90 ball control, 90 dribbling, 89 agility. With good stamina, passing could be better. But as a striker, she may only have target forward, but she has finesse shot, she has rapid, she has quick step, and she has this new enforcer, which apparently makes her harder to push off the ball when doing a shield dribble, which I think is when you hold L2. But it should be really good. Stanisic is still here. There are some others who are still here. Hemp we managed to pack untradeable, so that came out of one of the packs. We got Naz from one of the objectives. And I think we now have a team something like this. We've got Can as a CDM on holding. We're going to have Little as a box crasher, which is something new for this year, which just seems like a box to box, but she might just hang around the edge of the box a bit more. We're going to have Estevao and Hemp on inside forwards, Kerr on target forward, Anton and Stanisic on ball playing defenders, because those are the ones that they have pluses on. We're going to have Bronze for the moment. This is the Reece James placeholder on fullback, and then we're going to have Catley or Catley also on fullback. But I'm going to need to continue grinding, maybe get some packs, maybe grind a bit of squad battles, try and do some objectives just so we can get the packs and players to continue working towards the Reece SBC. So we managed to do the first squad, which is the 83 rated. I only had to buy a couple of players for that. In terms of this next one, 84 rated, we're going to need a bunch of 84s, maybe 185 or 2, and also some 83s. And then for the main one, which is 85 rated, I think I'm going to need an 87 because she's untradeable. So what we use bronze, I think like 4 85s, and then the rest will be 84s. That might be the cheapest way to do it. But even that, even having 485s and then the rest 84s is about 17k. So it's not currently doable to complete at all. We only have 19, so we need to keep grinding. And I'm hoping with the packs, we obviously get some players that we can use to then complete the Reece James, and he will go straight into the right back slot. But as it is, this is the team that we'll be doing some gameplay with. This is the team I'm going to be using online, and hopefully we'll get some rewards. Hopefully get some kind of Rivals rewards. I don't know if there is a Rivals rewards on Thursday, but we'll definitely do the online tournaments. Just try and get something, continue building so we can have the Reece James and then just continue upgrading the team. But as it is, without actually playing an online competitive game just yet, I'm pretty happy with the status of the team so far. We've made a couple of purchases, which I think will also be some investment as well. I can't foresee Kerr or Little going much lower, especially when the main game comes out. Surely 2.2k for an 85 is as low as it gets. And the same for an 87, 5.3 for an 87. Literally can't go lower unless EA update the price ranges, which hopefully they won't. But for now, this is where we're at, this is the team, and in the next episode we'll be bringing you some gameplay.